Welcome to Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria, with a legacy of excellence and a vision for nurturing future leaders. Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution that you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. The federal government has made an appeal to the organized labor to consider the broader economic implications of its push for what the government considers an unrealistic higher national minimum wage. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris handed down the admonition and stated that the 250,000 naira minimum wage demanded by labor could undermine the economy, a situation he said may lead to mass retrenchment of workers and jeopardize the welfare of Nigerians. However, the labor unions have refuted President Bola Tinubu's claims during his Democracy Day broadcast that an agreement had been reached on the new national minimum wage. The national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, has called for a sustainable democratic system that will grant the participation of citizens. Abure made the call at a lecture organized by the party as part of activities to mark the nation's Democracy Day. Samuel Odi has details.
Julius Abure stressed that the primary aim of democracy is to secure and protect the lives and properties of citizens of the country.
That security and welfare shall be the principal purpose of governments. Nigerians today are not asking for welfare, secure our lives. And the government cannot provide security.
A public affairs analyst, Professor Sam Amadi, advocated for a total reform of the electoral process to ensure free, fair, and credible election.
The result was annulled, but 2023, a result was annulled through pulling down the IRF. The INEC annulled the 2023 election. Till today, INEC has not provided a justification why the electronic transmission did not work.
To have a sustainable and democratic system, a total reform needs to happen in the electoral system in Nigeria. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
A member of House of Representatives, Clemens Jimbo, has observed that since the return of democratic rule, Nigeria has witnessed incremental political, social, and economic gains. Speaking during a political program with Global Television, Jimbo, however, noted that despite the gains, Nigeria's democracy is still grappling with other challenges.
If you look at Nigeria, Nigeria has really matured up to that point, that irrespective of the misunderstanding, whatever that we have experienced in the negative, so to say, in these past 25 years, we've always seen the need to stay on trajectory, to stay on focus, to stay online, to stay on board, which is the bigger picture, democracy. And we have maintained it. We have maintained it. So Nigeria has really postured that big brother, the giant of Africa.
The Abak Federal Constituency representative further said democracy has increased citizen participation and strengthened democratic institutions. Democracy is described as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. However, how do Nigerians perceive this concept? How do they experience democracy in their daily lives? And what are their hopes and challenges? In commemoration of this year's Democracy Day, Global Television took to the streets to gather a wide range of perspective on the state of democracy in Nigeria. Democracy is often described as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But how do Nigerians perceive this concept? How do they experience democracy in their daily lives? And what are their challenges and hopes? In a country as diverse and vibrant as Nigeria, with over 200 million people and more than 250 ethnic groups, democracy means different things to different people. For some, it represents the freedom to choose their leaders and the promise of a better future. For others, it highlights the need for accountability, transparency, and true representation.
For me, democracy, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So it's a form of government that everybody is involved in decision-making process, and things are done. And at the end of the day, majority gets to, have their share.
This democracy we are talking about has a part anything in Nigeria, because it's just like the opposite side. Democracy is where we're supposed to have freedom. What we're supposed to experience is just opposite side of it today. That June 12th is Democracy Day in Nigeria. For what? What are we celebrating? And we said Democracy Day.
Democracy has no effect on Nigerians. And I believe they should look at the democracy again, how it was defined, and let us work on it properly to affect the life of Nigerians.
The things we are going through are very terrible for us as a nation. If, as a father, you cannot take good and proper care of your family financially, you are already in trouble. Now, with the situation on ground, I think there is cause to celebrate in some areas, while we need improvement in the area of financial remuneration.
It's a time of reflection from where we're coming from, because there is nothing to celebrate in this country. Honestly, people are passing through hell. Financially, even to feed is a problem in this country. Some families cannot even feed 2 times in a day. That 2 times you cannot, even if they have the food for 2 times in a day, it is not a good meal that you can write home about. There is nothing good to celebrate in this country.
Nigerians are asking the government to be radical in its approach in the delivery of democratic dividends and to focus on critical sectors that will restore democracy. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting. The Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested 2 suspects and invited 3 permanent secretaries for questioning over an alleged fraud involving the sale of employment forms in the office of the head of service. The commission's chairman, Muhui Riminangado, said that the investigation is ongoing to identify and bring to justice those responsible for the alleged scam. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has warned the public of the increasing trend of cholera cases across the country as the rainy season intensifies. The center is in a statement signed by its Director General, Dr. Midday Idris, said from January 1st to June 11th, 2024, a total of 1,141 suspected and 65 confirmed cases of cholera with 30 deaths had been reported from 96 local government areas in 30 states. The center noted that the 10 states that contributed 90 to the burden of cholera include Bayelsa, Zamfara, Abia, Cross River, Bauchi, Delta, Katsina, Imo, Nasarawa, and Lagos. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has said it intercepted and seized over 207 kilograms of hard drugs between January 2023 and March 2024 across different seaports in the country. Director of Media and Advocacy of the agency, Femi Babafemi, disclosed this in a document. Babafemi says that in the first quarter of 2024, 14 suspects were arrested with 16.69 kilograms of cocaine and 11,622 kilograms of cannabis sativa. 167 persons were arrested with 196,336 kilograms of various types of drugs from January to October 2023. The Transmission Company of Nigeria has stated that two of its towers, T193 and T194, along the Damaturu-Maiduguri 330 kilovolt, also called KV single-circuit transmission lines, have again been destroyed by vandals. The General Manager of Public Affairs TCN in Didimba said the incident happened at about 10:15 p.m. when the 150 megavolt ampere power transformer at Molai substation tripped. You're watching the Midday News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, blackout in Borno as vandals bomb Transmission Company of Nigeria towers. This and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more, all on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung Animal Joseph on Global Television.
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, if you've just joined us, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the Midday News. On the foreign scene, the European Union's top court has fined Hungary 200 million euros, an equivalent of $216 million, and imposed a daily €1 million penalty for failing to follow the bloc's asylum laws and illegally deporting migrants. The European Court of Justice said the fine and penalty are because authorities in Budapest are deliberately evading compliance with the European Union laws, despite a 2020 ruling that it must uphold international procedures for asylum seekers. India's foreign ministry has said at least 40 Indians are among 49 people killed in a fire at a residential building in the Kuwaiti city of Mangaf. The fire broke out in a building where dozens of workers stayed. Authorities said many of the casualties are from the southern Indian states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Around 50 Indians have also been injured. Argentina's Senate has narrowly approved President Javier Milei's controversial economic reform package, with the votes taking place as violent clashes raged between protesters and riot police outside Congress. Demonstrators in Buenos Aires, who say the measures will hurt millions of Argentines, threw petrol bombs and stones, setting cars alight, with a number of people reported injured. The reforms aimed at reviving the country's flagging economy include declaring a state of economic emergency, cutting pensions, and watering down labor rights. In business, state governors have called for the refund of state government's full equity investment in the $10 billion National Integrated Power Project that are under the management of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. The governors under their umbrella body, Nigeria Governors Forum, said the federal government should refund an equitable rate of return on their investments in the power plant. They made demand in a document titled Development of National Integrated Electricity Policy and Strategic Implementation Plan Policy Recommendations by state governments, which was submitted to the Federal Ministry of Power. Weeks after the federal government approved a special purpose vehicle to support the delivery of an additional 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable, it has begun talks with the World Bank. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Bosun Tijani made the disclosure while announcing the kickoff of Nigeria Week in Washington in the United States. The project aims to increase Nigeria's fiber optic cable capacity from 35,000 kilometers to 125,000 kilometers, making it Africa's third longest terrestrial fiber optic backbone behind South Africa and Egypt. A report by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, says Nigeria's daily oil production has dipped further to 1.25 million barrels per day in May. This is despite the claim by the federal government and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that the country's oil production has risen to 1.7 million barrels per day. OPEC data showed that Nigeria lost 30,000 barrels per day as crude production dropped from 1.28 million barrels per day in April to 1.25 million barrels per day in May. Meanwhile, reports by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics have shown that Nigeria's cost of petrol importation has continued to rise, despite an almost 50% drop in the nation's consumption rate. In the first quarter of the current year, 2.63 trillion naira was spent on the importation of premium mottled spirit, which was 31.4% higher than the cost incurred for the same purpose in the last quarter of 2023. In the last 3 months of 2023, it is estimated that 1.81 trillion naira was expended in importing petrol. In sports, when Manav Takar competed at the 2023 edition of the World Table Tennis Contender Lagos, he never envisaged what would happen, and despite his round of 16 exit, the tournament marked the beginning of his rise in the world ratings. Already listed for the 2024 edition of the first tennis series in sub-Saharan Africa, the 24-year-old is eagerly looking for another opportunity to smile on him in the Commercial Nerve Center of Nigeria, when the tournament serves off on June 19 to 23 at the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of Teslim Balogun Stadium. A Malaysian international badly hurt in an acid attack in May broke down in tears as he pledged to return to football in a month or two. Selangor FC winger Faisal Halim suffered 4th-degree burns on his neck, shoulder, hands and chest in the attack at a shopping center outside Kuala Lumpur on May 5th. The popular 26-year-old spent 3 weeks in hospital and had multiple surgeries for the burns to his skin. Roma have made Samu Omorodion their priority to replace Romelu Lukaku ahead of next season. Lukaku's return to Chelsea prompted the Giallorossi to seek a young replacement on the market. Giallorossi director Florence Ghisolfi immediately focused on Omorodion, who now appears to be the capital club's first choice to strengthen the team's attack. The 20-year-old striker is set to make his return to Atletico Madrid after concluding his loan at Alves with 9 goals to his name. The Nigeria Cricket Federation has completed a 3-day special intervention program at different internally displaced persons camps in Maiduguri, Borno State, where they introduced the game to children and adults in the camps. This comes after the Federation's president, Uyi Akpata, promised during the 2022 annual general meeting in Abuja to donate his allowances to the development of the game in the Northeast. Food items and relief materials were donated to various internally displaced persons camps visited by members of the cricket family in the region. That's it on the Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.